Something about Salam Israel. The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. I.S.U.P.K is run today by Commanding General Yahanna, the only man at the rank and the authority to be the leader of Israel at this time. I want to say Yahweh Basham, Yahweh Shai Barakatam to my brother, Yahweh Shamai Latan Basham, Yahweh Shai to my sisters. All right, continuing our law. In our law class today, Wednesday. Oh, I'm a she, and I'm not Charlie She. That's the thing. Yeah, I just got to know. We work too, eh? And we're left with the marks of work sometimes. That's how it is. All right. Leviticus 19. Looking at Leviticus 19 this week. Hopefully we get through 19 and 20. Professor Kaya, you were talking about the Pope and they want to use the church to abolish the Old Testament. You got more information, I know? No. Oh. Well, guess what? Anytime they put that in place, just know that, yeah, chariots will be coming soon. And the most I not going to allow them to do that for any long period of time. But it might just be a necessary move to show Israel, to show the true Israelites clear cut between who is not and who is. Now, when they abolish the Old Testament, what's the main thing in the Old Testament? And the laws. And laws. So, I mean, who you think you are to abolish God's laws? What? The Pope? Pope ain't Christ. Pope breathe and die just like you and I. Might have more money. But he's a mere mortal who reports, whose soul goes back to the Most High when he dies. And the Most High decided it should come back or not. Or go and sit down in Never Land for another couple thousand years. But that's some presumption, though. That's some serious presumption.
God.
All right, those are starting. 19
verse 8.
Starting at 1.
God.
Hey, I'm telling you, in that shopping center, man, you put up with some things, you know. Bug, heat, sweat, all kind of things. All right. Yeah, start from 1.
God. Leviticus chapter 19, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 2, speak unto all the congregation of the children of Israel, and say unto them, Ye shall be holy, for I, the Lord, your God, am holy. Verse 3, Ye shall fear.
Alright, so the Most High tell Moses to speak to us, saying that that you should be holy because the Lord is holy. What does holy mean? What the dictionary, to call it again? The Zandavan. What does the Zandavan say about holy? Holy, in the form of definition. Holy Spirit. Just holy, not holy star, holy ghost.
The word after holy when check out this.
The word holy
Check now.
is not in here.
This is what you check it out and check out the word holy.
And put in on.
They have Holy Ghost, they have Holy Spirit, Holy of Holy, Holy Place. So they must have the word holy as it used to be. This new one.
Okay.
Holiness, holy.
You know, holiness, holy.
No, holiness, holiness, code, holiness, holiday, and the holiness. You know, have no holy, as in
Where have holiness?
holiness, the state or quality of being morally pure and separate from
Really? Alright, here what they have for holiness. Holiness, holy. Usually translate word, yeah, derived from a Hebrew root, kodash, and Greek, H-A-G. The basic meaning of kodash is separateness. Huh? Support. Connect back to him. So why support?
Run the thing.
Look at support. Really? What happened? Cut off by itself? No, cut off regular.
That kind of cut off. Canine cut off. So, class.
I don't want to speak. Get rid of the laws, you know? It's in the face too much. On the topic, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
What's last one?
Oh, love thy neighbor as thyself. Our Lord makes us holy unto God.
So, Facebook is with the agenda. Facebook is with the agenda, man.
Five minutes and 31 seconds.
All right, welcome back, Facebook. So, holiness in this, what edition is yours?
My edition J.D. and Mary C. King, revised by the
In the United States of America, and that's how they do the phone thing, right? Oh, you know, I've been carrying this book from the 60s. Yeah, I know. I don't want to know about the 29. Huh?
29.
Yours is 2011. All right, this copyright 63, 64, 67 by Alexander.
This one is 120.
So this will be a whole, but it's a newer version. So mine now says, holiness, holy. Usually translate word derived from a Hebrew root, Kadash. The basic meaning of Kadash is separateness. And that tell us something else, huh?
Holiness, state or quality of being morally pure and separate from evil, according to some scholars. Holiness is...
All right. So that definition is European.
God, more Christian. God.
The basic meaning for holy as God relates to us is just separate. Straight and simple, separate. I want to, hey, the white man, you know, white man come up with a theory and then he kill people to fall in line with the theory. Come up with a theory with truth, You just come up with a theory and say, this is the way it should be. And if you don't fall in line, you die. All right, so the Most High says, He is holy, so His people, that's us, should be holy. Continue.
Verse 3. Ye shall fear every man his mother and his father, and keep my Sabbath. I am the Lord your God.
All right, so that's why I say honor your mother and your father. That's where it starts from, huh?
The father and father and
you said mother and his father. It don't really matter with who you think you see first when you come in this world. Oh, so it don't really matter. All right, turn E.
Verse 4. Turn ye not unto idol, nor make to yourself molten gods. I am the Lord your God.
All right, 5.
Verse 5. And if ye offer a sacrifice, a peace offering unto the Lord, ye shall offer it at your own will. Verse 6. It shall be eaten the same day, and on the morrow, and it shall remain until the third day. It shall be burned in the fire.
I said, the peace offering is food. Straight, food. And your 2 days. How much days is it?
2 days, sir.
It should be eaten the same day and on the morrow.
Yeah.
If a third day catch it, that's for that. And we never have any fridge then. But even then, and when you look at it scientifically, what happened to our food on the third day? Outside the fridge. Bacteria start growing it. Yeah. Start growing bacteria. And that can give you E. coli and, well, those names wouldn't be in the Bible. And we wouldn't have known much, if anything, about microorganisms. Done.
Right.
But we know it exists today, so that means what? Nothing new under the sun, so that means it has been around from creation. So the Most I don't need to tell us why. Just say you have the food there, and if you practice it in the temple, then it means you would practice it at home. And if you remember your grandparents coming up, they cook today, they will use the food the next day. Don't the next morning actually. And if anything leave, what they do with it? No, they never did have fridge. What they do? No, if all of it don't use up the following day, what they do with it? Throw it away. Yeah. This is, I mean, this is the practice. So it's not yeah, what's the word? It's not something that they came up with just like that. It was embedded in us for thousands of years. Practice from the temple. And this is one way you get rid of certain sickness without knowing that it can happen. I don't know, maybe I had persons who experimented. I don't know. Verse 106 or 7.
Verse 7.
Yeah.
Verse 7. And if it be eaten at all on the third day, it is abominable, it shall not be accepted.
There you go. So if you go eat that peace offering on the third day, most I not accepting that. and full of bacteria. Don't have to tell you that. It just said don't eat on the third day. This is our laws just give you straight cut things, you know, they don't give a reason. Just like traffic, I like to use traffic laws. No left turn between 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Have you ever seen a no left turn sign with a reason and it's no left turn because blah blah blah? Eh?
No left turn.
Yeah. Or you see the speeding limit, you're in an 80 zone and then you see drop to 50. Have you ever seen 50 because they're in school zone hour? Just a 50. So the most I laws are no different. So don't eat the peace offering on the fourth day, third day. If you eat it, you're on your own. The most are not going to accept it. Continue now.
Verse 8. Therefore, everyone that eateth, it shall bear his iniquity.
Everyone that eateth it shall bear his own sin. Continue.
Because he has profaned the hallowed thing of the Lord. And that soul shall be cut off from among his people. Verse 9.
So you see how serious it be? When he says that soul shall be cut off from among his people, what do you think happens?
The soul shall be killed.
Exactly. Verse 1 now. It? Yeah.
Verse 9.
Hold on. Where is it? I want to change the Bible. Oh, shall be cut off, that soul shall be cut off from among his people. Right, and that generally means that that soul must be put to death. Continue.
Verse 9. And when ye reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not wholly reap the corners of thy field, neither shalt thou gather gleanings of thy harvest. Verse 10.
Hold on. You know that this here is the most I look. This now, this shows us between 9 to about 18. At the next 9 verse you read. Shows you some simple ways to love your neighbor. If you are a farmer and you have, I mean, man, we don't, as Israelites, we don't really have these large farms. We work on them, but we don't own them, right? True or false? Yes. If you even have an Israelite now with any large farm, they're under the curse. Trust me. It's either pest eating down that or something. Because when you don't keep the Most High's commandment, you're cursing the field and you're cursing the city. And when we visit farming areas, we see that clear cut. But you have to say this. When we have our farms and the Most High says, like here, don't glean your harvest. What it means? Alright, what glean means?
Glean.
Mm-hmm. We have a newspaper we call Gleaner. You also know what glean means. GLEAN. Google. Who searching?
They obtain from various sources often with difficulty. Second meaning, gather after a harvest, leftover grain. Gather leftover grain after a harvest.
Right. So it means they have to pick everything. Right. So it says we should not glean. We Neither shall thou shalt not wholly reap the corners of the field, neither shalt thou gather the gleaning of thy harvest. So whatever it is that you plant, it's not talking about somebody with 5 mango trees. I have one little backyard harvest, grape vineyard. You ever see any pictures of like California grapes, those areas that produce wine? You ever see any pictures with those fields or pictures with grape vineyards south of France? Huh? In movies, even if it's movies. You see them big. Right, and you have other fields like cornfields and so on. All right, out here we used to have cane fields. What they used to do with people when they catch them in cane fields? No, they never used to kill them. Prison. Well, not if they catch you in the cane field. If you break a cane, they had a law once, where it's 2 year per joint thing. The law. That's how serious it was. You break a cane and the cops catch you with it and know you break it from there. Instead of count the joints. If you have a cane with 15 giants, one length a year, 30 years that, huh? Yeah. But those are what we call colonial laws. Those laws were made specifically for slaves. Colonial laws. When you look at them, you see how unfair it was. You know that it was made for the normal man, for the man who was free. Those weren't laws made for people that were free. Those are laws made for people that were under bondage. These are laws made for people that are free. Tell you don't reap all the field and don't reap the corners of the field. And read the next verse and I tell you what.
Whereon Congress said, and thou shalt not glean thy vineyard, neither shalt thou gather every grape of thy vineyard. Thou shalt leave them for the poor and stranger.
Thou shalt leave them for who?
For the poor and stranger.
Exactly. So this is for people who are free. You're leaving your field for people, some of your crops for people that are poor and people that don't come from the area but they are sojourning through, they are strangers. This of course was talking about the poor Israelite and the poor stranger. But even if other nation was among you, living among you and they were poor, and they would of course they would be a stranger, yes. They could eat from your field. Does our system today provide any such thing? No. You're poor, go look work. As a matter of fact, what did the oppressor did with the buffaloes in America just so that the Indians have nothing to eat?
Yeah, so
kill them out. Until as a matter of fact, now when you see a picture of Yellowstone and you see buffaloes up there, it looks strange. But that was a land that was buffalo was like an infestation to that land. The Indians didn't have to worry about meal. Buffaloes was everywhere. And they hunt them for their hides just so that they could kill them out, that the Indians have no meal. So this shows you how oppression goes. The oppressor make laws to say you cannot harvest rainwater. But here the Most High make laws to say leave some of your crop for the poor. He consider the poor. He's teaching you to love your neighbor. And this is talking about the neighbor here is of Israel. The Israelite. Love them just as you would love yourself. In contrast with the oppressor's law, If you understand freedom, it will stand up. Continue.
God, I am the Lord your God. Verse 11. Ye shall not steal, neither deal falsely, neither lie one to another.
Right. So you shall not steal from your neighbor, being false with the neighbor, and you tell your neighbor lie. And neighbor here is not the person living beside you, right, sir? This is talking about your Israelite brother. And the Israelites are the blacks, Hispanics, and natives, has to be. You don't do these things to them. Continue.
Verse 12. And ye shall not swear by my name falsely, neither shalt thou profane the name of thy God. I am the Lord. Verse 13.
And what it mean by that?
You tell a lie, saying something that is a lie,
Mm-hmm.
and then about it by saying most by name a certification
Okay.
to support the lie.
You remember when he was when I looked at him, he said, yes, sir, I said, Jesus, I'm serious. I threw my car, turned the roll and broke my neck. Well, it's things like that. And he said, Jesus, by the name of Yahweh, I'm not telling you a lie. By the name of Yahweh, I'm not telling any lies. You can't do that. You have no control over God or his name. And make it rather worse is a lie you're telling at the same time. So, thou you shall not swear by his name falsely, neither shalt thou profane the name of thy God. All right. There are times when you go in like today, you're going to the court and you're sure to tell the truth and nothing but the whole truth. What they give you? Right.
Oh, yeah, right.
You're sure on the Bible. Okay. Even though that don't say anything much, because Trump did the same thing. Verse what? 13?
Verse 13. Thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor, neither rob him. The wages of him that is hired shall not abide with thee all night until the morning.
You see, this is law. This is saying that you should pay your Israelite worker daily. Whether thou shalt not defraud your neighbor. What do you mean to defraud? All right. But it's a rob too. That sounds like rob.
Defraud, yes, sir. Defraud would be like you shot and you kill.
Right. You negotiate something with him and then you change it. You defrauded him. And robbing him would be like you work and don't pay him. Right. So, but the two of them is almost the same because the defrauding would be robbing too. The wages of him that is hired. So this is talk about the laborer. Shall not abide with thee all night until the morning. Why the Most High says that? Hmm? No, this is not someone that you is employed to you. You hire a man say a day or two or three or four. Why the Most High put it that way? Yeah. Yeah, but why put it this way? Yeah.
In this case, you have the money to pay me. And you pay me at night after I'm done work.
No, sir. The Most High don't know that. That means it don't state that in the law. That because you could be that you don't have it. But why put it this way? The man who is hired, why am I allow you to hire him? Huh? He don't. No. What is it? Who's speaking? So while you sit there with his money, he's home. Lord, I'm hungry. Nah, the most I don't want that. The most I want you paying bill. Alright, so verse what now? 14.
Another one can. Verse 14. Thou shalt not curse the deaf, nor put a stumbling block before the blind. Thou shalt fear thy God. I am the Lord.
Alright, so this is, you know, you have persons who do these things to handicap people. Right? Even though today, yeah, luckily, we have more, there's a little more awareness and tolerance for persons that are handicapped. True or false? Right. And you see, they're even making laws you adjust the sidewalks for the blind, for the person on the wheelchair. These are laws. These are laws from Moses' time, almost 3,000-4,000 years ago. Probably more than that. All right, verse 15.
Verse 15. You shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. Thou shalt not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty. But in righteousness shalt thou judge thy neighbor.
All right. So this Jamaica, which sport they play, and then I took it. I do this. What is me again? I took it. No ball.
Four.
Oh, this is the fourth. All right. Well, that licked Jamaica before. I also do this. That is 6 now. This one licked Jamaica for 6. Yeah, man. The man who is rich and manipulate the law. True or false? Yeah, man. It takes money to manipulate the law. Not only in Jamaica, you see it in America. They have a president now, the Constitution is like toilet paper to him. His law is white supremacy. White supremacy. That will be about the Constitution. He reigns supreme. But our laws says, to sit to judge. Don't feel sorry for the man because he's poor. Don't honor the person because he's rich. The judgment says he should pay $1 million. So let him poor feel tough luck, him go have to find it. And our laws, they have specific judgment for some things. It doesn't matter if you're rich or you're poor. Judgment is judgment. The man who is rich, he manipulates the system and he gets off. So that shows you that the laws in the lands that we live now was made just for the oppressed. Was made for the oppressor. Continue.
Verse 16. Thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer among thy people.
What's that?
The person who have to tell your people name.
Mix up news carrier. Yeah, that's the carry go bring come with it. You remember that song? Carry go bring come my dear, bring misery. I'm laughing against that. Don't bother with the carry go bring come and the motor massive thing. It causes problems. Cause misery. That's what 16. Continue.
Neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor.
What it means?
Means the neighbor means the neighbor probably against sentence to death.
And you stand up for it.
You know say innocent.
But you want to stand up for it.
Against it.
Oh, you know him right.
Yeah, I'm about to be put to death.
Alright, where is it? Neither shall thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor. No, it's against, you know. Yeah. So this one blood is going to be shed. Yeah. Even though we have laws for that, you know, because if a man going to die and he make it to the city of refuge, can't show him again. Alright. Verse 17.
Verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
Alright. Hating your brother in your heart. Now this is the man who huh?
Love and talk with you every day.
And
What hatred for his heart.
yeah. You are your property. Your friend and him talk like him doing like your wife. And doing like the things that you have, but you have your opinion.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing.
You like your wife, but you don't you like your wife for the things what you have. You know, like you and the things, but you want to get in front of you.
Well, no, we can't fit that with that. Where is that? Hate thy brother in thine heart. That is the man who just don't like you.
Oh, so we get to that. Take up your wife, your wife outside, to your wife, you can do
All right. No, unless that wife is stupid. But that sometimes, yeah, that things like that happen. Confident.
Verse 18. Thou shalt not offend.
No. 17 not finished.
Verse 17. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. Verse 18.
All right, so that is saying what? Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor. Meaning? Meaning? Yeah?
Meaning, if the neighbor do something wrong, talk to him about it to prove it, as opposed to allow him to sin and then
and you go up in your heart.
heart.
Right. Correct it. Right. So correct your neighbor and don't suffer sin upon him. If him doing something like that, and don't know that him doing something wrong. Two. Right.
Hear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord.
Right. Don't carry grudge. And thou shalt love thy neighbor the same way you love yourself. All right, verse 19.
Verse 19. You shall keep my statutes. Thou shalt not let thy cattle. Thou shalt not let thy cattle tender with a diverse kind. Thou shalt not sow.
Hold on. You understand the part there? What does that part mean?
The diverse kind?
Yeah.
Meaning if you have a pit bull, like cattle, if you have a cow, a certain breed of cow, you make it breed with another type of cow.
Mm-hmm. Because crossbreed, we call it. Thou shalt not let thy cattle gender with a diverse kind. So, our Lord should make us wise So this will be doing what? You gender in your cattle with another kind is doing what? Lowering the value of your cattle. That's what you do. You are lowering the value of your goods. Because if it's not a purebred, it can't worth as much as a purebred. Right. So, but you know, the carnal person will look and say, that, well, that's a sin to do it. But, I mean, if you do it, just know that it's not valued as much as the purebred. It's just like you have a dog that is a German Shepherd or a Pit Bull or one of those big dogs. If you want to crossbreed it, can you get as much for it as you get for a purebred? I love German Shepherds, so I thought I love German Shepherds. I got purebred German Shepherd. Right. I don't like Pit Bulls. And they're crazy. Them to crossbreed. They want to mix up so that to mix up the craziness. Alright, but this is talking about cattle because we were herders. That's where the source, that was the main source of our income as a people. Farming. So you realize that a lot of our laws has to do with farming. I mean, person who is poor, as easy as farm the land. Yeah. Can take you from poverty to riches without you robbing anybody. All right. Diverse kind, thou shalt not.
Need structure. Thou shalt not sow thy field with mingled seed, neither shalt
all those that affect a farmer. And what it means by mingled seed. Mm-hmm.
Corn and peas and
Right, there are several crops in the same field. Right. Well, you cut down your yield. But if you plant monocrop, you're planting corn, pure corn here. One, it helps with pollination because if you have a couple of years of corn here and some peas there, when bees come to pollinate and they come on the corn, that pollen grain have nothing to do with the bees. For a farmer. Yeah, but if it's pure corn, when they come on the flowers and they go to another set of corn, then pollination takes place the same way. You can't crossbreed. You cannot crossbreed in that way. No, you can't crossbreed. All the way happens is that your crop, your field don't yield as much as it should. Yeah. Because you're going to affect pollination. Every crop that you plant puts out some flower before it brings forth the fruit that or whatever you want. You know that? Right. So that flower allows for hold on, and then the biology are integrated science. That flower allows for what you call pollination, which the bees is the main culprit for that one. But the bees don't care about you planting corn. The bees want nectar to go and make his honey. So by him going into your flowers for the nectar, then the pollen grain get caught on his skin, or the ear and his skin, and his outer coat. And while he go down, pollen does reach another part flower that allow the crop to come forth. Yeah, the Most High is very clever, you know. That's like sex again. Yeah, that question.
Yes, sir. I remember when one virus that affected, I think that coconut tree, like banana tree.
You know, all right. I don't know. Which virus?
I don't remember the name.
Well, you have one that was affecting the coconut trees and still affecting the coconut tree. Huh? Is that the voice note? Check the volume for me. I think it's right. Okay. It's up. It was up our youth. It was at the maximum. All right. So, all right. With the coconut tree, the virus that was and still is affecting it. You know that virus was brought here by the Americans. You didn't know that? All right. We had the number one coconut industry in the Caribbean, in the English-speaking Caribbean. Probably the Caribbean in general, right? Our coconut industry was up there. So much so that we had a coconut industry board. We still do. Coconut used to make what? Coconut oil. What else? No man, back then they made the coconut oil and what else? People use coconut juice and they used to use the husk of the coconut to make what? Yes, they used to use brush for shining the floor. What else? Mattress. It was this used to be the filling in the mattress that we would have exported. They call kaya. Kaya mattress. All right. Now, so we use the coconut itself because there was jelly. You can sell it as jelly. You can sell it as dry coconut to persons to use. You know, remember the coconut novelties, drops, gizzard, all those things, right? You can sell as that. You can get oil from it, right? And you get even the husk. One make mattress filling. Well, the Americans now, you know, that time we didn't have vegetable oil on the market, corn oil and all those oil, right? Because we dominated that market. The Americans came in now and say they are going to help us with our coconut industry. Now, you might not remember, officer, trooper, but officer as an older person would remember this when they used to have with our crops. They used to call them spray plane. It was sponsored by the Americans. They say that they were helping our coconut industry. Only to find out in the a number of years after that they were giving us leaf of yellowing, which is a disease that affects coconut. We don't have a coconut industry again. We still have a coconut industry board, which is very small, and they are trying hard to bring back coconut. If you remember when you used to go travel on the eastern end of the island, St. Mary's, St. Thomas, coconut farm was two sides the road. Miles of coconut trees. When you go there now, it's miles of empty land. The white man is the devil the Bible speaks of. They kill our coconut industry. See Americans, and then you know they have all kind of argument when Jamaicans want to go to America. Then they kill us. If they kill out what is here, they must want to come over there. You remember even Jackson? You remember the amount of coconut trees used to be up by the sea in Jackson there? No, it is just a housing estate. And if you plant a coconut tree now, this is how deep rooted that this virus is. You plant a coconut tree, after a while you see the leaves start getting yellow. And they're not going to, because they're supposed to last for years, you know. And then, on top of that, they now say, okay, we're going to try and correct the situation. So what we had was what coconuts that we call natives, which are mandora, the big coconut. And them sweet and the cup big, you get a lot of water, you get a lot of coconut juice, and you get a lot of oil from one coconut. Now they say they're going to help us to replenish the coconuts in the coconuts by giving us some suckers. Those were really suckers. Now they gave us some dwarf coconut start there from here. The cups are like my fist. Leaf and yellow take them from their reach little bit taller than me. So our coconut industry is like, and it all happened in the 70s when had definitely going to do a class on the political landscape of Jamaica. It might, why? Because that was how they were able. 70s because Michael was singing another way, then come in and say, oh, we're doing this, we're doing that. As if they were with us. While they were damaging a lot of things. Yeah, man. And now when Jamaicans run go abroad for work, you can't take them Jamaicans there now. Well, guess what? They mash up the house. They should have mashed up the whole island and make it all of it over there and turn that country upside down. You think 2 million and we couldn't turn it upside down, they make a sad mistake. The same way they fight off the British, we go over there and go fight them off. Yeah, not for who die, yes. But who survive, survive. That's how we know. If you put our back against the wall, what thing will happen? We are fighting set of people, you know. And we're not going to kill over and die. You can tell anybody that. We ain't going to kill over and die. And these are the things they do to us continually. Banana industry, that's another story. Yeah. All too. Sugar cane, gone home now. Yes.
One of the main point behind the destruction of our coconut industries are oil. Because they were trying to promote your vegetable oil.
That's what I say. They go and spirit our coconut, saying that they're helping us, so that they can bring in vegetable oil. What kind of oil again now? Corn oil. All the other oil that are not coconut oil. We never used to import oil, you know. We never used to import oil. Coconut industry was so sufficient. Just like sugar. We didn't have to import those things. But you want to turn us into consumers. Well, guess what? The entire ship going to sink. Not just ours. All right. What we are, how far we are now?
We're still in 9.
Still at 19?
Answer.
Oh, we're going to talk about sowing that field, mingled seed, right? Next part now.
Come, need a shot of garment, mingle, of linen, and woolen, come upon thee.
All right. Why did we talk about the garment now? Linen and wool, two different textures. You know what wool come from?
Wool come from plant.
Sheep. The wool is from the sheep. What is linen from? What makes linen? You remember they caught us this one doing, remember terlin and wool? That was linen and wool, you know? Yes, man. It's gonna be terlin and wool, you know, say nothing. You see what the Bible says? Don't do it. So we're not supposed to mix the two for garment. Lord have mercy. Huh? Terlin. Linen, terlin. Yeah.
Terlin is the mixture, or is it
just a pure kind of linen.
It's not pure.
Mixture, yeah.
It mix.
Okay.
It mix.
What I mean is just,
No man, terry linen. No, it named terry linen, you know, but the cloth is terline.
oh, sterling.
No, not sterling. Terline.
Sterling.
Terline and wool. The terline was what kind of linen?
Oh, you can get the sterling. Sterling, I think, it's near.
No. Yeah, that well, it made pants, suit, terline and wool. And it wasn't, this was from the 70s coming down. That was maybe one next thing I use screw up again too. Yeah, because they must have read it and say, yeah, they must not wear terline and wool. Yeah, man, we're going to give them one. Keep them sinning. And it came in the island like from one end to the next zone. Whichever part you go, you could get it.
Yeah.
And if you're not beating it, you're not saying anything. You have to beat your terling and wool and your arrow shirt. You remember those days? With your Clark's boot. Yeah, man. And then you're a badass man. You get all the walk to, you know. Off and dip. You know what I walk there? That's the 70s, 80s and coming up. Today, bad man is what? Peer gunman, killer. Yeah.
The linen.
Mm-hmm.
The linen fiber, yarn, and fabric made from the flax cloth.
It's a plant. Right. So wool is from the animal while the linen is from the plant. So why mix the two? That's what their laws is saying. Don't mix both. The most I don't like and want to carry that right through with your plants, with your animals. So I just say don't mix, don't crossbreed the animal. Yeah.
I was watching a class one. The explanation for this was that they cheat with the material, so it become like scamming.
Yeah. Because it's not pure.
I'm gonna expect 100% cotton.
When they give him cotton and something else. Well, guess what? We used to buy this, even though name turning and wool. We used to think it was wool pants. Wool material. It wasn't. It wasn't. It have a woolly feeling. Yeah. But they do this. Guess what? The price of real wool far exceeded the 30 that wool anyway. It was expensive. Yeah. So this is it. Keeping the things pure. Don't mix. It affects the value and what is coming to you. You could have gained X amount in keeping your garment at straight wool, but you go and you mix it. You don't know the price. You wouldn't get it for the price of straight linen because straight linen is expensive. Well, not as expensive as wool, but then you go and mix it too. No, that mixture is cheaper than the wool and cheaper than the linen. Right.
And basically, I get that cheaper and then sell it as pure wool.
Well, that's what the other nation do us. And the worst thing is the linen is not pure linen and the wool is not pure wool. But they're selling it as linen and wool. Mixture. They cheated us real bad, you know. When you look back. And this was how blindfolded we were as a people. I mean, like with the coconut industry, nobody couldn't see, they just trust America. So. You remember when we did the Other Day Come movie? When Jamaica put out that movie? What's the name of the guy behind it again? He was the author, but the producer was who? Was a white guy was the producer now?
It's black, right?
Something like that. No, probably. But Trevor was the man behind the movie. He was the man behind the script. Right. Trevor was the man behind the script. No. What do you think happened? That was a good movie, you know, but for a country so small, how was they putting out such a bad show? You shouldn't be doing this thing. Knock them down, and it took them years to realize what Hollywood did to them. You know? That Hollywood just saw a competition and kill it before it started. Yeah, because I mean, look how much show we put out since that. Bad show. But that time Hollywood gone far. Hollywood saw them as a competition, just like how they saw our coconut industry as a competition. And what they do, they kill it. And why would they do that to Jamaica? When Jamaica was a plantation and America was a plantation, as big as America was, Jamaica was more important than the American. Electricity first came here before anywhere in America. Railway came here before anywhere in America. And about that, electricity came here before Buckingham Palace. That shows you how important this colony was, right? So they did these things as a matter of importance. The railway was here probably about 50 or 100 years approximately before it goes to America. You know? Long before America. You know? Rail industry, you know, for banana and whatever. Well, to move the produce and to move people. You never used to carry cane. So long after they used it to carry cane. And you know they used to use rail to carry cane too. Yeah. And some areas you drive, you still see the rail line across the road. And you look and you say, what railway are they down here, son? It used to run through the cane field, carry the cane. All right. So these laws were made for us, and the oppressor had them, knew it was for us, spin it around, and mess us up. That's what they did. All these farming laws. And guess what? They followed it, you know. The banana, the last banana company out here, they call it Israeli banana. Remember? Remember that name? All right. They the closer part of the road. They never used to read, you know. Workers get them and they get the sell it to them cheap. They never have trouble though. The one they used to use is mainly inside. And who control it? Who control that? The Israelis. That's why they call it the Israeli banana. They followed it while they were here. Follow our laws while oppressing us with the labor. Why man is the devil the Bible speaks. All right, verse what now?
Verse 20, sir.
One.
Verse 20. And whosoever lieth carnally with a woman that is a bondmaid, betrothed to an husband,
Betrothed.
betrothed to an husband, and not at all redeemed, nor freedom given her, she shall be scourged. They shall not be put to death, because she was not free.
All right. So this is talking about one. You go and having casual sex with a woman that is under bondage. Well, she's not free, so she won't be, but she's going to be scored. How much of this our people suffered during slavery, during our time of bondage? How much of it? Countless. And still is. And who is getting scored? Continue.
Verse 21. And he shall bring his trespass offering unto the Lord, and to the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, even a ram for a trespass offering.
Alright, so when they find, I guess what is when they get catch you there. Why, you think a man about do some break the law and do something and come and just give up himself? Is when him get catch now, you know, when he's caught, then he has to now make a trespass offering unto the Lord. Continue.
Verse 22. And the priest shall make an atonement for him with the ram of the trespass offering before the Lord for his sin which he has done, and the sin which he has done shall be forgiven him.
Okay. Alright. Forgiveness of sin. What?
Verse 23. And when he shall come into the land, and shall have planted all manner of trees for food, then he shall come the fruit hereafter shall it be as uncircumcised unto you, it shall not be eaten up.
So this is talking about when we're going to the land and plant the vineyard. It's gonna be 3 years before they're gonna just ripe and drop off, and you don't eat it. Right. Because it's uncircumcised. I don't know. Maybe that was because there was a lot of dead bodies in the land when we went in there too. That the Most High did kill them out with the brimstone and fire. The Canaanites who didn't die, flee. Well, you know the story. They are the ones now down in South Africa. First year now?
Yes.
Okay. So you are looking at me like we're talking Hebrew. Continue.
Verse 24. But in the 4th year, all the fruit thereof shall be holy, to praise the Lord the God.
All right. Continue.
Verse 25. And in the 5th year shall ye eat of the fruit thereof, that it may yield unto you the increase thereof. I am the Lord your God. Verse 26. Ye shall not eat anything with the blood, neither shall ye use enchantments, nor observe times.
Somebody was asking about rare steak. I think it was last week. Who was asking?
I think I mentioned it.
All right, well, here it is. Here's the answer. Don't eat anything with the blood. Yeah, man. That means you cook. That's why we had it. You know, they call the food offerings again. What do you mean? Burnt offering was the food offering, man.
Peace offering.
Peace offering. Fruit, we all do with fruits. Can't food go to temple. They pre-store already. Any offering they were making in the temple was something that was still blood. Except for like even to make it the peace offering, there's some meat with it, don't. Yeah, some meat and go there because it's only blood remitting. Right? So you have to shed blood when you're fasting or remittant of sin. So whenever we make the offering, which is whether turkey dove or whatever, it has to go through the fire and become, well, today we maintain that jerk. Just kidding. Well, guys, jerking is a similar thing. Flame roasting. we, Benjamin said jerk, Judite says what? Barbecue. What did Asian say? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the other tribes call it. But anyway, it was three main tribes down in the thing. Oh, guess what? The Asians didn't have to call it anything because when we do it the jerk, it was for them. When the Judah does the barbecue, it's for them. What was it?
Like catch the meat and just put it over time.
No man, that's an ancient way of cooking. Long before we became a nation. Roasting. Long time people cook food by roasting. Well, the Buccaneers, that is long after fail, just the other day. But they also run the thing through the meat and push it over the open flame and turn it. That is called a bucan. And it was popular amongst them. That's how the term Buccaneers came in. Buccaneers. White people, when they were Israelite, because the white man realized how much flame roasted meat is nice. And find a way to do it. But in our temple, we had the altar, which we use flame roasted food, either for eating or you burn it straight out for the most part. All right, where are we?
We are at 27.
Mm-hmm.
So, 27.
Oh, you didn't. Oh, yes. We talk about. Yeah, neither shall ye use enchantment nor observe time. What's that? What do you mean to observe time? Mm-hmm.
We got the astronomy, astrology, like zodiac signs.
Right. So, which one do we know? Right, so we'll say we'll be one. The sign will be sign. Well, that's good. It means that you're not observing time at time. But what are we like? What rule do you like? No, the zodiac. Then I ask you to believe in it. But you ask a question. So if someone was observing time or something, they would have known what time you're in and each month which of the signs and all that, right? Enchantment is what? Hmm? Ever hear some man say, boy, I have a lucky bracelet, I have a lucky ring, that's a part of enchantment. What else could be enchantment? Believing in the zodiac signs too. You go out and you read your zodiac signs. Some people read it daily. Right. So observing times would be like, Christmas coming up. What they love observe at Christmas again? Officer Akaya.
Yeah.
Winter solstice. Right. Yeah, also, I think you have the summer solstice too. Yeah, a bit for the 4 seasons. So what you saw, you have persons, you have societies which have a ceremony to mark these times. When it's winter, when it's summer, autumn, so on and so forth. Spring, right?
Yeah.
Now we have Feast of First Fruit, we have Passover.
The trumpet.
Right.
Rain.
No. The talking about I like this spring there.
Oh,
First fruit,
yes.
Passover. Right. But we don't, right, but we don't observe that, well, it's spring now. No. We know that springtime is the beginning of the year. Passover is the beginning of the year. And guess what? It's not kept on the first day of the beginning of the year. It's about 15 days after. So, because we are forbidden to observe time. Sorry, continue.
Verse 27. You shall not round the corners of your head, neither shall thou mar the corners of thy beard.
Verse 1.
That's 27.
Ye shall not ride. What do you mean by round the corner of your head?
So, like line.
Hmm? Virgin, man, I have crop there, no?
Line.
Line up, right. I'm talking about line up. We got the barber and him. What we used to do before we come in the truth? Who never used to do it? Alright, I don't see any hand. So, but we are forbidden to do it. Round the corners of your head or mar,
Mar the corners of thy beard.
right, like to see him line up. Line up a bit. We don't do that. You know, put on a shape like a pretty boy. That's, we have law, see, we have laws against that. 29, 28.
Come. Verse 28. Ye shall not make any cutting in your flesh for the dead, nor print any mark upon you. I am the Lord.
What's the cutting in the flesh? It's not something we see practice out here now. What is it? Yeah.
So that practice among the
Events,
nation.
yeah. Am I especially?
So when someone dies
Mm-hmm.
in mourning them, they would cut themselves.
Right.
They would cut themselves, and there are some traditions, even our traditions that mar the face, scar your face.
When they ever did.
Yeah.
Right. But the most I said, nah, don't do that. Obviously, because we were doing it in while we were in Egypt.
God.
The most I had to make laws like that. Not a practice that we should do because they don't just do it for doing it sake, you know, they do it ceremonially and comes with a big meaning. Like if they don't do it, something bad is going to happen or something like that, right? So the Most High is forbidding us not to do it, forbidding us to do it. And the other one that says, mark upon your skin, what's that?
Print any marks upon you.
Which is what? All right. Practice hands up. So no tattoo. That's not to say if you don't have tattoo, you can't come in the truth. But when you're in the truth, you can't put on tattoo. What you had on before you come in the truth, they didn't know. So, you know the scripture that says we shall be changed in the twinkling of an eye in the New Testament? When you look at how destroyed we as a people, we really need to, really need to know. The tattoos, the alcohol and weed soaked body, the pork soaked body, we really need it. Man, the poorish body, who I should say, poor out body, and that's where it is stored. But I just keeping it real. Yeah, man. If we could see the amount of word that we committed before committing the truth. Mm, right. Two kind of word we do too, you know. There was the sexual word and then the word against the Most High. Idolatry. Serve another God. We serve Caesar Borgia. Well, that's the main culprit amongst us. The other one was the Rastafarian. And then there was the Muslim. The Muslim not much out here. But you know, Hinduism is fairly strong in Jamaica. But the only thing is that, you know, with Muslim, they come and try to get you converted to Muslim. Hinduism don't do that.
One time we did have a convert.
So Hinduism,
No.
go on.
And we
Well, I remember I read it once, and there was something in it that I read, and I said to the person who was telling me about it, nah, man. Then if, you know, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it wasn't convincing. As a matter of fact, I wasn't able to counter what he was saying so much so that him stopped telling me about it. You know, that religion was made to uphold the nation that make it. If our laws was a religion, it would be a religion to uphold us. But it's not. It's our way of life. All right, so where are we at now? 21?
We're at 29.
Right. Nor print any marks upon you. That is tattoo. I am the Lord. 29.
21 son, verse 39. Do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore. Let the land fall to whoredom, and the land become full of wickedness.
Isn't this what you see happening in Jamaica? Hasn't our land fallen toward them? What's the proper way to get a wife? Hmm? Yeah?
You have to go to her father.
Ah. How much of that is practice? Hmm? You go out and, as a matter of fact, who you go to now? Who you go to?
About the mother.
Ah, for the mother love you, you're alright. If the mother don't like you, dog you to suffer. And then the relationship don't work and what happens? You can't do somebody else. Nah. So, I mean, it happened once, it happened twice, and then what? It's spread. Because this is what happens straight across Jamaica now. All right. Next one.
21 son, verse 30.
30. Right.
Ye shall keep my Sabbath, not here, and reverence my sanctuary. I am the Lord.
Mm-hmm. Continue.
21 son, verse 31. Regard not them that have familiar spirits, neither seek after wizards to be defiled by them. I am the Lord your God.
All right. It's telling you about wizard. What is witch? Can't spell. No? That is what they wanted to believe, so they show you that in movies.
Use things to get what we want to use.
Which manipulates circumstances and elements.
Yeah, but you don't see witch in the Bible, yeah? You see wizard.
Wizard.
Yeah.
Witches are the female. And
Thank you. Because this is how you get catching up. It's the same thing. You hear about witchcraft, but you never hear about wizardcraft. It's called witchcraft. However, the witch is the female, like we have the school here, we have the sisters, right? We have the brothers. The men are called wizards and the women are called witches. But it's what they practice, the craft that they practice, is called witchcraft. And witchcraft is one of the most prominent and dominant practices of the religion. Practices of today. Advertising is witchcraft. But if you are in the truth and you are running a business, won't you want to advertise? Huh? Yeah. So it's what happens behind it. Yeah. No. It's what happens behind it. That what is the person that they use to advertise? That's the witch, most part. You see these agencies that put up the models and things. If these models would tell us some things that they, when they are invited to certain parties and the things that happens and so on. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then that's the person who comes out to advertise. And then they just look and you fall in love with. It's like America, if you get certain person to hold your product. All right. During the coronavirus, was it the coronavirus time? Yes. What's the name of this man again? Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey, you know, you couldn't go to the barber shop. So he was in his bathroom shaving. Was it the coronavirus time or before the coronavirus time? I think it was during that, probably a little before. He was in his bathroom shaving. No, it was before the coronavirus time. Because he got an interview about it. He was in his hotel room, I think, and he was shaving himself. And his son just casually took his cell phone and videoed him, put it on internet, and people look at the kind of share that he was using. You know the one on the wall, I think it's WHAL or something like that, right? Yeah. He was using that kind, and guess what? The sale went up. Just like that. But to show you how much of a witchcraft advertising is, if you and I or someone in the truth goes in an advertisement and say whatever, good that product, yeah? Probably do sell to those in the truth. None of those persons who they use to advertise is ever in the truth. These are people in work, always. Not even someone who is in the truth, but working with a company. I think they don't see advertisement. What else is another big witchcraft? Christianity. You are bewitched. You are bewitched into believing that the white man is God and that Christ is one. So much so, this is how much this picture impacts our people. So much so that you read it in the Bible of the color of Christ, but what you're reading in the Bible is not the truth. The picture is the truth. Don't. Isn't that the way people look at it? Yeah. Because the very same Bible that they take to church and reading in the church describes how God looks, how the angels look, how God's chosen people look, and how Christ looks. But But you see right here now where you most have to have a laws against witches because they're dangerous. They can send you such subliminal messages and conquer your mind. That's how the witchcraft works. Witchcraft don't fight war, you know. They don't fight wars. They don't need to. But they understand the battle for the mind. And they use that in their craft. If you control the mind of the people, you control everything. Witches understand that. And the most I know that they understand that also. You shall not neither seek after a wizard. Don't seek after the craft. Right? To be defiled by them. Right. So obviously their craft defiles you. Yes.
So if you go to somebody like those manipulate the mind, they feel like they're gonna get sick, they're gonna get sick.
It depends what they go about. All right. Somebody is sick and then what is it? You know, go over man we can't go to, you know. And they go. And what the other man tell them? Yes, so your neighbor work for you. Yes, the grown man will live beside of you. And then, yes, there's a grown man living beside you. And then you go down, you swear to that man trying to do you something. He has control your mind.
Like it there. And even if I'm not brown, you know, I'm browner than you.
Yes, in brown the chuka. I thought no black. Right. The woman will live side. Everybody have a woman live side of them. And then you go now and you have up the neighbor. Which in a way, you just have cancer and the doctor couldn't find it. And I've seen this happen several times.
And so what you yourself can know if somebody tries to be wrong. Different from one person. Without that person not prepared.
Of course, then somebody fight against you, then come in and face you.
Yeah. So if somebody tell you and you don't feel that means they're not doing it.
That don't mean that, well, it's not to say that they don't dislike you. It's not to say that they don't dislike you. But it's just to say the person who you go and talking to, telling you a lie to control your mind. That's witchcraft.
Because you make you believe that what happened to you is the person.
Which in a way it is just like how, I mean, you imagine the Jamaica first, and people just walk and drop them, and I did. Who could have tell them people that say, I'm not over here? You tell me who could tell you that it's not over here?
Right there. And you know, even though they give certain smaller people credit for these things, when you report them also credit, they are going to tell you this. and then believe things.
Yeah, you know, they don't, not to say that, you know, this was sent by God. The Illuminati sent it, you know, they want to do this, they want to do that. It's the kind of mind that people have. Our people believes what the other man tell them as to oppose, or as opposed to what the doctor says. The doctor says, you know, you have cancer. The other man says, you know, your neighbor over you, who you believe? You don't believe the other man. And then they walk and spend their money and then seeking healing and seeking deliverance. And they never once read Deuteronomy 28 and see that it's the curse on you for one. And the most I said, don't eat pork and don't eat shrimp and don't eat lobster and don't eat crab. And you eat all these things and now it's having a toll on your body. But no, it's not you, it's your neighbor. It's not me, it's my neighbor. So you seek after the witch or the wizard. Rather than following what the most I say. There's no divination against you. You know what somebody can do you? Yes, somebody can come and physically shoot you. Or physically get a gunman to come and shoot you. When they come, you don't need a gunman to tell you, I'm going to try again. You feel it?
You have to go protect yourself.
Oh.
So I say, if you come in prison, you have to defend yourself. Because
You say protect yourself.
protect yourself, you are defend.
Defend. What's your choice of word? When people say them protect themselves, then now, well, it means them go over and go see protection. Watch your mouth. Watch your word. Yes, brother.
Dangerous because most time you have to come and just breaking the most like that. Or the whole man do.
Thank you.
Further break the law, the punishment will come more.
Exactly.
Right.
All right, it's like you have diabetes. When diabetes just coming around, you know, and it wasn't so common. And people go to the bush doctor and tell them, you know, a neighbor work for you, blood, so and so and so. They'll give you this. And you go home and you boil and you drink it.
And it make you feel
Make you feel like a better. And then Bob should go and doctor and find out, oh, it's sugar man. You go back to the other man say, sugar, all right, drink this, you can't get it right. And you go and you drink it and it masks the sugar in the blood. And you go to the doctor and doctor says, oh, it's not there, it's gone. You know when it show up again? When it reach big red, and it show up, you die. We had a friend who died that week. I spoke to him Monday, 5 minutes before he collapsed. While I was speaking to him on the phone, he collapsed. And I was calling him. Monday evening, can't get him. Tuesday, can't get him. Wednesday, I called him and I got him. And he answered me and spoke to me. And then the phone cut off again. And I call him, can't get him. And then by Wednesday evening, a friend called me and said, you know, you want to my friend, to our friend. So what happened? He dead. So I spoke to him last before he collapsed. And I spoke to him again last before he died. And guess what? He's also somebody, he's a big man. I used to say, you drink too much soda in your age, you know, and you need to cut it down. So you're not easy, man. Can't tell me that. I mean, you know, to heal my body. I don't know to heal my body, you know. Let me take bad thing makes laugh. But you can't beat science, you know. Science is the fingers of God. You ever beat that? When God said, let us make man. That was pure science, you know. The entire makeup of your body is scientific, you know. It's just Esau find a name to give it and call it science, you know. We used to just call it the works of God. Eh? just Esau find a thing to call one side religion and call one side science. But it's the work of God. Yes, brother.
Yes, yes, sir. Science is the study of the Most High creation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what it is. But let me hear your definition. The definition. Religion is what?
religion is the deceiving of white.
No.
Deception.
Deception of the deceiving of the people. Because every state have a religion that they use. Communism tell them what they don't have religion. Who is God in North Korea? Kim Jong-un, the leader. That is religion. It's idolatry. Religion. In the bother. The man I from Corona. Yeah. Yeah. Because if you portray yourself to your people as a God, or you have to go make them see when you're sick. Can't do that. God can't sick. All right, verse what right now?
Verse 32.
All right, go on.
Verse 32. Thou shalt rise up before the hoary head and honor the face of the old man and fear thy God. I am the Lord.
Thou shalt rise up before the four. All right, what does word mean? Yeah.
Great here, old man. And see
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So this is saying.
It is saying, rise up before them, meaning to respect them.
Mm-hmm.
And one example I'm going to use was rise up, like, hey, I must an old person who want to get up and get to
Yeah, I remember when we used to do that. Maybe the younger people don't remember those days. Yeah, that's one way to honor the old. Once an old person, pregnant woman, old person coming into a bus, they would get up and give them a seat. But guess what? It's always the man always a get up to them.
Yeah, woman.
The woman then I get up. Always the man get up.
Really?
Well, let me tell you something. When I was young, I hear a man draw a card in a bus with make the woman them start get up. The pregnant woman come in the bus. Doctor say, somebody get up and give the lady a seat now. So no man no move. So a woman go say, what you man them? So you're a man. They think we can breathe. I want to get up. It must mash up. And that woman have to get up and give the seat. They say you stay there. They think that that's all come back complain to me. We can't breathe. We can't get pregnant. So you, when your time comes to get pregnant, you're going to want somebody to get up and give you a seat. So you get up and give the lady the seat. And anyway, yeah. That man are full of candy. All right. 34.
33.
Oh, 33.
Verse 33. And if a stranger sojourn with thee in your land, ye shall not vex him.
All right. If you notice it has specific laws against forced strangers. We were a very, what's the word I would use now? Family-oriented people. This community would have happened that Canaanite. You know what family is there? It's like a family place. And there are several communities like that. I think all have a base. So you didn't born there and you go there. What do they call it? Right. But you are the same Israelite. Now, the old time people, as they would say, family drum be different, meaning There's a family war and thing, but you should not get into it. They will still come together and come against you, the stranger. But if you notice, our laws have always have laws for the stranger because this was our communities were family based, family oriented, and the families were large. Because imagine, remember, we knew that we are to be as the stars of heaven, and we also knew that we should have enough children. So you now have like Ninja Man. What's the Ninja Man saying? 23 picnic with 22 baby mother. Right. And in these days, they would have been in close proximity. So what would happen? The community here would full of families. So you who don't born there now, you are a total stranger to these people. Even if they know you know. But you're a stranger, you're not blood in there. So you are more likely to be mistreated by these people, don't you? Right, so the law protects you. You come and you live in the community amongst these people. It's your family around you. You chop up your gut side and you speak. So the most I make laws and say, don't vex a stranger. So they have to treat you good by law. Right. 34.
Verse 34. But the stranger that dwelleth with you shall be unto you as one born among you.
Thank you. See, back up what I'm saying. Because the one born among you, you have a tendency to treat him better. Continue.
And thou shalt love him as thyself, for ye were strangers in the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God.
You shall love him as you love yourself. So love this. So that's how you know that the neighbor is not of another race. You are going to love him as you love yourself. Love thy neighbor as you love thyself. So this says this, you're going to love this stranger as you love yourself. This is not of another race. Because what he tell you about the other race? What our law say about the other race? Yeah.
You shall be above all nations.
That's one. And what else? And right. We are not to mix our seed with them. And what else? How are we unto God?
Holy.
Separate. Right. So love thy neighbor and the stranger is not of another race. It is an Israelite born person who you don't know. But he is of the blood of Jacob. But that you don't know him. He's a stranger. The neighbor can be a stranger as well as somebody we know. But he's an Israelite. So the Bible is not contradictory. So when you go in the New Testament now and say, and Christ, love thy neighbor, what church is it? Oh, it's everybody. No. It's not.
Everybody and your neighbor just love
The Bible does not contradict itself. So in the Old Testament, stranger and neighbor was Israelite, and in the New Testament, it's anybody? No. That is confusion. All right. Oh, yeah, no?
Verse 35.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 35. Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment in meat yard,
Mm-hmm. Yes, who know? Mm-hmm.
in weight or in measure.
Right. So meat yard will do. We Jamaica.
Okay, sure.
Right. So weight is one of the weight things and one. So what are the things you do? You measure things, you weigh things, and what else? You count things. Look what my yard means. METEYR. Don't be surprised if it's a meter. A joke, it's not meter. If I go market sometime and then you buy a phone or two or something and the scale back. The scale prior.
Never get your way.
And I really back to back in and follow the forward. Mm. Yeah.
A yard, staff, or rod used as a measuring device.
Right. So you have my yard, that would have been like you measure something. Like what you sell in my yard. I measure. Fabric. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Lumber.
Yeah.
Right. What you sell in weight. Flour. Sugar. Bible. Let's talk about it. Wheat. You don't see flour, you see wheat. You know, this is not the sugar in the Bible. Yeah, it's the salt. So weight, yeah, salt sell by weight. What sell by measure? Liquid. Oil. Yeah, mainly the oil. That's what we use back then. I tell about whatever whatever the main you gin or something. Also. So this is all three talking about measurement really. And judgment as in what?
As in creating a platform.
Mm-hmm.
As in giving out justice.
Right. So, like at home, splitting difference between families, between kids, and for those of us who have more than one wife, you can favor the one where just come on board. So, you're two now and to have a vex, you have to take up fear. Now, you have to be fear.
Right.
If you're wrong, you're wrong. Right? One of the things you know they love doing, hey, one of the things that mash up our our people, you say a woman have 3 children, 3 different fathers, right? And one of them father got foreign and send back barrel. The one where Philip Daddy said the barrel, he don't kick in the house. It's a woman who is queen. That is wrong. That should be. And that was one thing that destroy the family structure in Jamaica. When people start to migrate, persons in the family have different fathers, barrel start to our mother, barrel start come back. Woo, the barrel pick me, him wild. I never did know that. They didn't know that. True or false? Yeah. Your age would fall in that what they call the barrel picking. When people start to migrate after and this became more prevalent like after the 70s, after them start to wreck the economy. Bigger power start wreck the economy and people start to out. Because in the 80s, we didn't need visa to go America. You know? They need visa to go America. They need visa to go England. They need visa to go anywhere. We never migrate. We never wanted to migrate. So they want to tell you you need visa. What good is that to you? We didn't even interested in the US dollar. And then they start to crack the economy. So people have to migrate. So these are coming. At time we don't mash up the thing there. Family structure. 36.
Verse 36. Just balances, just weight, a just ephah, and a just hin shall ye have.
Right, so the balance and the weight is the same. The balance is the scale. Now we used to use scale first time. You have one part you put, you would have some predetermined weight. Let's use a kilogram. You have a piece of metal that is 1 kilogram. So you put it in one side of the balance. And let's say you're selling, give me something that you sell by weight. Right. You cut the meat and you put it on this side until that meat will come right back to 0. So the left equal the right. So what you have here, you have the known kilogram here. So this is, and it balanced to 0. This is now a kilogram. That's how the balance works. That's how they used to measure things first time. Right? So you have to be just with your balances, your weights, your ephah, your hin. The hin, that is what, I think the hin is what measure the oil. Talk about an ephah of flour and a hin of oil. Continue.
I am the Lord your God, which brought you out of the land of Egypt. Verse 37. Therefore shall ye observe all my statutes and all my judgments and do them. I am the Lord.
Good. So all those became law unto us. What are those who follow? One, we love go after the witch, the wizard. They love to, if somebody is just and they speak against justice, speak against injustice, they are called, that's another word we use, informer. And the most I say we need to be just in our judgment. And the man who is just to the point of death. So you killing out the one that is just. So what the thing is going on? The most I allow sin to take over. Corruption. Yes, and next thing you know, Jamaica is wrong because what number we are on the corruption index?
I know.
Still high. Yeah. Because that's a tough time. I said, oh, so this is using the money to do. But Jesus, our leaders. Yeah, but if the people have gone over to corruption, what think the most are going to do? Give the corrupt leaders. Yes. But, IMF should not be the one to be crying about we corrupt or whatever. They are the major players in corrupting us.
And that maybe what they're doing is a kind of witchcraft or then.
Then what? Them broke on no more money. I thought about then I say no more money because we're corrupt. I know today we're corrupt. I will not get no more corrupt since COVID. Broke and don't have no more money. But they can't tell us that they don't have no money. They say, yeah what? We're not giving any more money. You're too corrupt. Mm. Yeah, right. All the scandals was before COVID. Few since, but the majority was before COVID. They never say anything. So what's the big talk now?
Let's send COVID money. Yeah, COVID money.
Right, then get some COVID money. But then they get 500 million US. Well, a lot of money, that, you know.
So they take out the most and they will
Who do that?
Mm-hmm.
You get something? They don't get nothing.
people will carry the money.
After me hear about tough time, I don't want nothing either. Huh?
You can get 15,000 and 10,000.
Get money done long time. It's probably done before they get it.
Someone can glad someone can glad empty. You don't buy up some grocery and people.
But guess what? If they give me 10,000, I will take it. You know why? You never get done free from government. So I will take it.
I want to sign up.
Yeah, and then them determine if you are qualified for it or not. All them kind of crap. But you know, they give away 100,000, so who are the ones who get those bigger money?
You have this.
What business? People who have business, current people business owners, people who sell them in business place.
You know, they ban the sale of alcohol and tobacco. And you know, alcohol and tobacco probably is more than 60% of the budget. Money is earned from alcohol and tobacco. Probably approximately 60% of the budget. They are heavily taxed. You know. Cigarette, alcohol, why do you think it's so expensive? It's not the manufacturer getting the money, you know, it's the government. These things were taxed heavily before GCP came. And then they still put GCP on, yeah, which is the value added tax. Yeah.
So no, you just that they need a try the people that get the cigarette them also they want to try away that they make no tax.
So,
I'm not sure how
yeah, that's why them go to prison for fraud. You know how much of the Chinese go to jail for, they call them illegal cigarettes.
Yeah, you have to do that.
I'm trying away to carry out them and then I don't get much too much.
Then the worst person can be fraud is the government, you know. You must get catch. The, the tax man. A single cigarette sold for what? $60? The one that comes in and pay the taxes. About $60? Yeah. $70. All right. 1 million cigarettes can hold in a box. About this. So they put on the table here. Probably about this high. How easy is it to tuck away, divide that in four and tuck them away in something, huh? All right. Now dig this. If somebody bring in 1 million sticks of cigarettes and beat the tax man, and then sell it for what, $40 sell him for? Yeah, approximately $40. How much money does it collect? $40 million. You see, they're trying to sell weed and try to sell coke. The China man try to beat the tax man and sell illegal together. He's making far more money than the drugs man. You know that? Just stay there. Far more. You know how much trouble you'll have to go through to get that same amount of cocaine selling in the system? Probably dead. But he brings it in. And it's not difficult to bring it in. Any barrel, any container, he can tuck away so boom. And then get it at China cheap, cheap, cheap. So when him come in and him sell them $40 a one, maybe it cost him $10 a one. So it might cost him $10 million. If so much. Maybe not even so much. Exactly. Kind of cheap. So it might cost him $5 million to bring in that 1 million figure. And then he get it sold. He makes $35 million. And it's not hard to sell either. What do you know so much about it? My, you know. So,
like their family are come from China. So.
Right, then sneaking some with them. So, how you going to be? You can't reach out to China, man. That alone. If he sells 1 million, and then in a matter of months, he can sell 1 million today, right? Now, let's say he sell it at wholesale, so now going to make 35 million, but he might make 20. I might make 30. Let's say he makes 20. Now, if he sell 1 million to the whole year, he's still alright. No, I mean, him not, after I'm bringing that, he's not bringing no more. He's still alright. Within 20 million. Well, you know how hard you and I have to work to make $250,000.
And I'm
I'm gonna like I should have picked your beard, I'm gonna give you an idea, you know. I can't look into him and say, but just showing you why the Chinese get locked up so often. Yeah, but somebody get locked up to bringing in something illegally and him having $20 million when make half of it. You think he's going to the prison? He might spend 2 nights in the jail. But he will find somebody to do. But that's the corruption that we're talking about. But you steal 1 or 2 of those cigarettes and you say, oh, you go to prison.
And then you are a country.
Yeah, right. Hello, look at them. Life ain't easy for you, for us as an Israelite, yeah? It's rough. Of course, money is here, it's just that you and I are not in the circle. So why you think so many different banks? Everybody says Jamaica is one small country. You see how much banks out here? And it's not money laundering they're operating with. They're not doing offshore banking in like you Cayman and the other places and Switzerland and so on. It's not offshore banking they're doing in. They are making money from businesses and so on. Money here, of course. It's just for you are I to tap into that source. Use it. Bible speaks like this. Use it. If I lend you $10,000, but then again, you know, it's kind of unfair because if you lend you 10,000 and you take next year to pay back, you know, inflation gone is 10% for that, you know. This is the tool that the oppressor use to keep us poor. Inflation. You buy something now. You know, inflation benefits the man who already have. Yeah. You have real estate. Real estate accrue appreciates approximately 40% per annum. Approximately. Now, regardless of inflation, what a lot of these people do, they just tag it to the US dollar. So that's all right, this land worth 5,000 euros for argument's sake. Next year, they might still accept the 5,000 euros, But the amount it costs you to buy that 5,000 US this year, it's not going to cost you that same amount next year. It costs you way more. Because the dollar is slipping plus the inflation. So we have two tides swimming against. Inflation, and the other one is a sliding dollar. We call it, we don't call it depreciation, the depreciation of the dollar. Oh, you want to swim against them two strong sides and get anything? Hmm? That's why our people break the law so much. In America, inflation is small, but there's no devaluation of the dollar that they have to be contented with. So how are we? I mean, from inception, from World War II, the scale has been tipped against us. Two was the ceiling of it. World War One, then get rid of Hitler. World War Two, they tip the scale in the balance. They tip the balance in favor of themselves. So unless we have somebody to fight our war, and Christ. But the one way we can get Christ to fight our wars is to do it. Follow the laws, statutes, and commandments of the nation. And with that, pass the class over to Christian officer. Hi.
I.S.U.P.K security announcement. We are the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohanna. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limit for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which brother or sister will get permission from the head to manage this. In Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi 3 verse 8 to 10 means tenth in Hebrew and is pronounced Mahaishara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocation. Memorial of blowing of the trumpet. First day of the 7th month. Thursday, September 17, 2020. You can find this in Leviticus 23, verse 24 to 25. Reminder Akiam and Akwatian to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and material. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he's to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, headband, or scarf. With that, we say, Majo means to stand. One courtesy salute to the teacher. Majum Shabbat. Majum Barak. Yahweh Shim Yahweh Shai Barak Abatam.
Yahweh Sham Yahweh Shai Barak Abatam.
Men of Israel, one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, face the sisters. Marjam Shabbat, Marjam, Barak, Yahweh Shamar Ilatan Basham Yahushai. Yitzhak Yaramata, class dismissed.
Finish.